really appreciate all of you being here today. You're going to take your second ball of clay and we're going to make a coil pot. So we don't have a lot of clay for a coil pot, so your coil pot is going to be modest. The first thing we would do, normally I would use a slab roller. In fact, last year that's what I taught my kids, how to make a slab. So we're going to kind of make a pinch slab. So what I'm going to do is I have my ball of clay. Ooh, it's cold. And I showed you how we can roll a ball of clay either with our hands or I can roll it on a table. I noticed somebody the other day was using a cutting board. Guys, I really need you all to pay attention to this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pinch this. And again, I'm going to make just like a little tray. And I'm pinching, pinching, pinching. I need even walls. It is so important that you have an even wall. Okay? So I have a nice even wall. And just watch this demo. I'll try to be as fast as possible so that because today's a work day. And I know that you've all designed your coil pots in your sketchbook. So I'm rolling, rolling. All right. So now I have a base. It is really important that my base is the same width all the way around. Okay? What do I mean by that? The width. If I take my tool, I can go like this and see that my coil pot is about this thick. You want your pinch pot slab. So we want to start with just a flat base. You don't want to start your coil pot with a coil because it tends to break. So what I have is I have my little base. Now, I like the shape. If I want to be really fanatical and have it totally symmetrical, I could take an object like a cup and cut around it. I can use my skewer and cut around. Again, you don't have to. And some of you, I noticed with your designs, you're doing a heart shape or a triangle. It's okay. All right. So now I have my base. And I'm going to just put this to the side. It's not a bad idea to leave your base, if you can, on your plate. So I'm going to put this here on my plate, and I'm going to put it to the side. Now, I'm going to use my coil. And the thing with coils is you don't want to overwork your clay. Your clay can lose its plasticity the more you roll. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to squeeze my clay till it has about this shape, okay? You can see the width. Now I'm going to, with my fingertips, roll. So it's really important that you have a flat surface to work on. A nice flat surface that can get a little dirty. Okay, so I noticed that it feels flat on this side. I can lift this up and press down gently. So this assignment is, I'm going to say a lot of kids find the coil difficult because it seems really easy, but it's actually kind of difficult. So again, I start from the center, my fingertips are separated, and I roll out, and I roll out, and I roll out. I want my, again, I don't want my coil too thick or too thin. I'm going to go for about the size of my pinky. And I don't want it, if it's too thin, it's going to be hard for me to blend my coils. Okay. And, all right, my coil is approximately finished. And again, this part is a little too thin, so I can just cut that off I can use my knife. Remember, everyone has a plastic knife. I'm going to go ahead and cut this because I don't want that. All right, now for the kind of fun part. You all watched the video and you saw all the examples of different ways you can make coils. For the first coil, I'm just going to take my plate where I left my base, and again, can someone tell me what I'm doing right now? I've used this word a lot. I'm scratching the clay. We call this scoring. Can I have you guys unmute and say what this is? This is called scoring. Scoring. Thank you. All right, so I scored my clay, and now I'm going to dip my finger in water. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water, and I'm going to score again. So score, look at, I know it for some of you, you're like, you're destroying your work by scoring that much. That's okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to score one side. My base, my first coil that I put on my pot, I want it to be no design. I'm going to just keep it simple. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of water again where my coil is. Add a little bit of water, and I'm going to take this, and again, I like having this on my plate because I can kind of move it around. And I overlap. This is very important. I overlap, and then I can keep building if I want to, but I'll go ahead and score a little bit. I'm going to score. And I'm going to score. Anytime I add 2 pieces of clay, I want to score. Add a little bit of water. And I'm building it up. So the catches for this assignment is that you need to make sure, and I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to cut this. I want it even. So again, this is very technical. What do you need to do? You need to score. It's non-optional. You have to do it. Every time you add 2 pieces of clay, guys, I want you to score both sides, add a little bit of water. And then also I've been talking about, you've heard me say when we added the pinch pots, I'm gently compressing. I'm gently compressing the clay. This is distracting. I'm gently compressing the clay. All right, so you can see the inside, and I had one student who's so smart already asked, well, how do you make the inside smooth? So I'm picking this up just for demo purposes. You can do this. Okay, so now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to blend in. I can also take my finger. I actually prefer using my finger. And I'm going to use my nail and my finger, and I'm going to blend in the inside, only the inside. This is how I'm holding it, and it's like I'm scratching with my fingernail. Can you see that? And I'm blending in the inside while keeping the coils. So I'm going to have my outside hand holding the clay so that when I blend, I don't lose my shape. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, it's really hard to see, but this is so important that you do this. Some of you have long nails. Maybe the knife would be easier to use, or you Okay. So here's the inside of my pot. I'm going to, again, just use the way I smoothed my pinch pot. So you can see it's really important to have, you know, coils that are about the thickness of your index finger, my pinky. They're about the same thickness. Okay? And as I build, I'm going to have this coil pattern. All right? So I've got my coil pattern. I'm going to put this to the side because I need to make another coil. All right. Now I'm going to make another coil. Can someone tell me what I do? I'm going to get a chunk of clay. With my hand, I'm squeezing it till it's about, I don't know, an inch thick. Then with my fingertips, I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll. Rock and roll, kids. So I'm going to send a message out regarding dropping off your work. All right, so again, my fingers are spread apart. And then this is the fun part. I get to get creative and make different designs and add them to my coil pot. All right. And once I'm done with this part, I'm going to ask that some of you guys, can someone tell me again, what's the first step I do to start my coil pot? What do I do? I'm not looking at names, so what do I do for the first step when I'm making my coil pot? Are you guys still asleep? Is that what's going on? Okay. The first thing you do is you make your disc by just pinching. A nice even disc. It can be a square, it can be a heart shape, whatever you want. Okay, now that I have my coil, now I can get fun. I can do some fun things. You guys, so I'm going to do a spiral. And this can be a coil. And then maybe I'll make another spiral so that it comes together. That's one design I can do. And if I want to change that design, I can hit this. Okay, and I can even blend, decide which side looks better. I think I like this side. And I'll blend this. Look at how easy that was. Blend it. And then I'm going to score one side. Again, how do I score? I'm using my skewer. Everyone has at least one skewer at home. I'm going to dip my finger in water. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the clay. Because of time, I think what I'm going to do is I'd like all of you to go ahead and start your project. Go ahead and start your base. Remember, your base should be about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch thick. So here we are. And again, am I done? No, I'm going to blend this in. I'm going to blend this. So this is going to be a cute little pinch pot, or I keep saying pinch pot, coil pot. We are done with our pinch pots. All of you should have created your pinch pot and then added texture or a repeat pattern. Now we're doing our coil pot. Okay, what questions do people have? So this is a quick assignment. You're going to finish this by the end of the period. You only have 1 pound of clay to work with. Ceramics 2 and 3, if you're making something more complicated,